Hey Facebook, how are you all? I hope you're all well. Just a little bit late than normal, but this is my day 3. I hope you're all doing well and you're having a great weekend. It is Sunday night here in Melbourne, Australia. I just wanted to hop on here. It's been a great day. I actually submitted a draft for my book. I've written a chapter for an up and coming book with a New York Times bestseller, and I submitted my first draft, and so I'm really excited about that. Just a lot of exciting things happening, and so I'm using this time to develop a lot of content. It's hey Tarita, how are you? It's really an exciting time, and I'm going to be just about to record another chapter or another episode of my podcast as well, and launching into IGTV. So, exciting times in the Morgan household. Hey, Shiny Shine. So guys, how are you all? I hope you're all well. I hope you're all rocking it as you're coming on. Say hello, say where you're coming in from, and tell me how your weekend's been, especially if you're here in Australia. We are down to 2 people in public. Woohoo! Pretty sure Mrs. Fury is on. Oh my goodness, I'm nervous. Are the mini chefs on too? Because I'm going to be super nervous if the mini chefs are on. Oh my goodness. Means I have to be on my best behavior. I love the mini chefs. They're so cute. So guys, tell me something. Have you ever wondered, like especially if you're in home business and you're building a home business, if you're in network marketing, have you ever wondered whether what you say might limit your success? Because you know what? I never really understood how words could be so powerful, especially when you're actually in this game of growth and entrepreneurship and building a business. You know, we don't place enough importance on what we say. Andrew, how are you? Thanks for hopping on. You know, it's definitely something that I think not a lot of people pay attention to. And you know, for me, I never really paid attention to my words or my thoughts or my actions until about 2.5 years ago, when I really got serious about building a home business. I think up until that point, I was really playing small, and I just showed up when it was comfortable. I did what I felt was okay to do, right? I remember, you know, hey, Ben, how are you? Ben Crichton, everybody, an absolutely amazing man. He changed my life with a very life-changing conversation, and I'll never forget it. And so for me, like, I didn't really realize how much just talking down to yourself, or just even words that you would say about how you were feeling, totally would change your mindset, your energy, the way that your attitude is, the way you approach just even things in life. Do you know what I mean? Like any situations that came about, how words could actually impact just who you are as a person, right? And so I really wanted to talk to you about 2 in particular, 2 phrases, I should say, not 2 words, 2 phrases that could really impact your success, especially if you're building a home-based business or you're striving. Absolutely, Ben, affirmations are key. If you're striving for major goals, right? And I want you to understand that, you know, by placing importance on the words that you say and that you speak out to yourself and to others, right? Not only can change the trajectory of your life, but it will also, you'll also be at the same time programming your mind. I can honestly tell you that, right? By consistently, intentionally speaking words that are in favor of your journey and supporting you and, you know, producing more belief into you, you are actually programming your mind for greatness, versus saying those words that are stopping your success, where you are programming your mind for failure, like for just creating blocks where you're basically just sabotaging yourself, and you'll be constantly repeating the same mistake, right? We got to have a chat. We will have a chat. Steve! Oh my goodness! We will have a chat, Ben. Steve Otwell! How are you, my friend? All the way from the UK. I hope you're self-isolating and you're looking after yourself. I know you are. but you absolute rock star, rocking it. I was on that Zoom yesterday, Steve. I don't know whether you saw me crying like a baby, but I did. I cried for all of you guys. So anyway, I just want to talk to you about two. The first one is why bother? Now this is something that I always used to say. Let me tell you, my first 2 years of network marketing, I would always say, why bother? Why bother? Why should I bother showing up another day? Why should I bother doing my work? I'm not getting any results. Why should I bother doing this when, so-and-so said no? Why should I bother spending this amount on a course when I'm not even getting any success? Why should I bother? Why bother? And a lot of people say this whenever any personal development comes into play, a new product comes into play, a competition comes into play, or anything like that. Anybody that hasn't programmed their mind for success will instantly put up this block and say, why bother? Right? And by you saying that to yourself, you're basically cutting yourself some slack and saying, you know what, this is not important for me. You're basically saying that what you're doing right now is not good enough for you because you're just so attached to the outcome. You're just so attached to seeing the results and potentially feeding your ego as well. I mean, I can totally relate to that, right? I know in the first 2 years, if I wasn't getting results, then I saw myself as a failure. But then what I didn't know is that the lack of results was building my mental strength for greatness, right? And so for me, it's really important for you to know that saying why bother, you're basically saying, hey, my vision's not important enough, right? My work is not important enough, my family's not important enough. That unless my journey is on my terms, I'm not going to show up, right? And so you need to understand that if you say this and you want to be successful, you need to reprogram your mind and just intentionally do not speak that, because you're limiting your potential. You'll never reach your potential, and you're definitely limiting your success, right? So it's super, super important that you understand that, right? Number two, I don't feel like it. Oh, ouch. Like seriously, this was something that let me tell you, no one wants to build a business every single day. Like it's not every single day that I'm excited like I am today. Like today was a great day because I knew I was submitting my chapter for my book, and I submitted it to the CEO of a publisher. So I knew it was going to be a great day because I put all my thoughts down and I went, wow, I've never done that before. I'm achieving something like some growth, right? But let me tell you that if you say, I don't feel like it, and you let that dictate you, you will never show up, because no one genuinely wants to reach out to strangers or, add on their network or work on themselves to break down limiting beliefs, right? And reactively program your mind. Nobody wants to do that every single day. There are days where you are going to feel tired. You might fall sick. Your kids might be sick, and, stuff happens, life happens, and so there are going to be days where you're going to be challenged. But you have to understand, it's when you feel like that, that's when you have to do it the most. Every single time that I feel like I could really have a day off today, and full transparency, there are days where I just go, oh, and I, like momentarily I just say, man, I just want to watch Netflix all day, every day, right? And then I just go, but I want to do this more. That's how I've programmed my mind. That's how far I've come. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's how far I've come. I mean, I simply can't not show up because I've got a lot of people that are wanting me to help them. And, by me not showing up, I'm basically saying that, my energy dictates my journey. And if that's going to be the case, I'm never, ever going to get there, because you're never, ever going to always 100% want to be all in all the time. It just That's physically impossible, right? No one that's at the top of their game wants to be at high level or wakes up at that high level every single day. There are days where I intentionally dance for half an hour before I go live. There are days where, I basically am talking to myself and really pepping myself up and going, I'm amazing, I'm going to serve these people, I'm going to deliver amazing content, I'm going to psych these people up. I'm telling myself that I can do this, right? And there are days where you just go, I just want to, but you know what? If you want to be the best of the best, you have to make some sacrifices. If you want to achieve greatness, if you want to achieve a 6-figure business, a 7-figure business, an 8-figure business, even if you want to achieve 5 figures, it all requires sacrifice. And if you let the words, I don't feel like it, to dictate you, you will struggle. You will. I let that dictate me in the first 2 years. I let distractions dictate me for the first 2 years. And I know some people don't want to hear this. Some people want to hear that they can have their cake and eat it. Now, let me tell you, you cannot have pieces of cake every single day and lose weight. It doesn't happen that way, right? You can't cheat on your partner and have a happy marriage, every single day. It doesn't happen that way. You can't, you know what I mean? And so you can't achieve greatness and massive success and build a sustainable business that's going to pay you over a long period of time. That takes a lot of work and effort. I know people that are earning 7 figures residually every year. That means they don't have to show up and do anything and they still earn 7 figures every single year. And I can put an income disclaimer to that to say they worked really, really hard for that. They made a lot of sacrifices. But if they wanted to, they could totally not do anything and they will still earn 7 figures every single year. Would you want to be in that position? I know I would, because that would give me choice and freedom. I'd be able to give 6 figures to charity, which is one of my drivers, right? So for me, not feeling like it is not even a question, right? I show up whether I feel like it or not because my vision dictates who I am and who I've become. But of course, if you don't want to play that big, no judgment at all. For me, I meet people where they're at. As a leader, if someone says to me, look, I want to earn $50 a week just for my fuel, $100 a week for my grocery, $300 a month for my utility bill. Hey, that's okay. That's okay. We've got systems. Most network marketing companies, this is obviously a generic training, most network marketing companies have systems to help you with that. They have bonus structures and compensation plans and tools to be able to help people. All companies do, right? But if you want to play big in this space, it requires you to, one, reprogram your mind such that you don't say why bother and you just say, hey, I'm going to give it everything because you know what? My vision deserves it, my family deserves it, my organization deserves it, and the people that are watching, right? And me not feeling like it has absolutely nothing to do with helping people. It just means that I have to take myself out of the equation and decide that people that are, ready for me to help them are far more important than me wanting to do something else. And believe me, when you get to a point where you're totally obsessed, because that's my word right now is obsession, you don't even think about it. You kind of just go, oh, well, it's just part of the journey. You just recognize it. And I think you get to a point where you recognize that there's going to be ups and downs and you're going to be highs and you're going to be lows and you're going to, you're going to start off strong and you're going to be tired at some point. It's all part of that journey and you just recognize it. But if there's 2 things that I can totally tell you to stop saying is why bother and I don't feel like it. And these are 2 things, by the way. This is not my content. This is stuff that I've learned from Ray Higdon. I'm part of his Rank Makers group. I'm also an ambassador for him as well and for rank makers, and he was talking about this, and I felt like it was so profound that people need to understand this. Like, people really, really need to understand that what they say can totally change their energy, their outlook, their attitude, and the way things work out. Like, you know, they're totally manifesting their reality. Like, and if you really want to take it another step further, like, if you don't understand the reticular activating system, then you must, right? Because your subconscious mind is way more powerful than your conscious mind. And if you keep telling yourself, why bother, then what happens is that your subconscious mind will do everything in its power to prove you right. So it will put you into situations where it'll prove your thoughts, your active thoughts, correctly. So if you want to achieve different results, you must first start thinking differently yourself. You must change that, right? You must start thinking that you are successful. You must start thinking that you are worthy, that you're there, that you know, act as if you've already achieved it. And what you're doing then is that you're saying to your subconscious mind, obviously this takes time. It's not like you do it now and then it changes. But what happens is that if you continuously do this, your subconscious mind will catch on and go, oh, so she believes that she's actually a 7-figure earner and she actually feels good about it. I recognize that she actually feels good when she thinks this. Maybe I should put her in situations for it to actually be real. And that's exactly what happens, right? And so just know that by eliminating these limiting, phrases, you are one step forward to achieving success. Like, you really need to actively work on that. And it just doesn't happen overnight. You know, this is programming that could have come from childhood, right? So give yourself some slack. But also understand that unless you do this, you will continuously see the same sort of result. So guys, I hope that has served you well. I hope that you've received value out of that. And of course, if you ever do want some more mindset advice, this is my specialty. I absolutely love helping people with mindset strategies. In fact, I have a 7-figure secrets group, right, where I'm actually sharing all my mentorship notes from my mentor and my CEO. I get mentored by them both, and I share my notes. I've got about 30 people in there right now, and seriously, that's all I'm doing, is just literally going live and sharing all the homework that I'm doing, all the notes that I've taken, and everyone out in there has achieved massive breakthroughs and have taken on a lot of learnings from what I'm actually learning myself. So if you want to be a part of the group, please comment 7 figures and I will add you in there. And I'll be happy to share with you my journey of being mentored directly by a 7-figure earner, but also by my CEO. So guys, have a great week. Tomorrow is day 4 already of my 30-day run of just adding value and giving you some stuff to think about whilst we have a little bit more time. Anyway, guys, it's been such a pleasure. Thank you so much for hopping on. Of course, I will be recording another edition of my podcast, so you can hop on to The Queenie Effect on iTunes and Spotify or Anchor. And you can also drop me an email if you want to have a conversation and book a call with me at queenie@elsamorgan.com. Hey, RT. Thanks so much, guys. Have a great evening. I'll talk to you soon.